Sweetie, I'm interrupting you. Where are you going? Why do you need the bag?
I have places to be.
No, you don't. I have a question for you.
Hit me.
Of all the cars I've had, which one is your favorite?
Oh my God. I need to put my bag down. Wow. Probably, do you want me to do this?
Just say.
Can I say like maybe the top 2 or top 3?
Sounds good.
I would say the 918.
Mm-hmm.
I loved that car. I think
I'm gonna leave it like this. Why not the Pagani?
I just said, you took the words out of my mouth. The Pagani was just iconic. Like you were the first to have it, and I think maybe not in the US, but you were the first person. I'd never heard of Pagani.
I was like the first idiot that had a YouTube channel that did it, because back then no one wanted that. But why would you say you like the Porsche more than the Pagani, or what would you say that is
I think
difference?
they're just, for me, obviously it's a very personal experience. Like going and speccing the Pagani with you was like one of the best memories that we've ever had. But the 918, what it like represented for that time in our lives and just how fucking cool it was.
Mm-hmm.
Like it was just such a sexy, incredible car.
What do you like about it?
The way it drove, the interior was incredible. And then obviously the way you wrapped it, like it was
Wrapped
so,
it? You mean the green?
The green, sorry.
The green
yeah.
was just green. That was
Yeah.
paint. That was paint, sweetie. I spent a lot of money on that car.
It was just, I don't know, I have such good memories in that car, and like even like with our dogs. I know that sounds so fucking ridiculous, but
No, doesn't matter.
I don't know, I just feel like that time in our lives, like so many exciting things were happening, and that car just represents like a really happy, exciting time. And I remember you bought it, you were so proud to buy it. Even with the Pagani, like it was just such monumental moments for you.
Interesting. Oh, Fiona, how you doing?
Fiona's recovering from her
I
surgery,
know, she
everyone.
is. So, the reason why I asked you, look, she got neck surgery, my poor new, but she's good. They removed the tumor now. So, the reason why I'm asking you this is because Porsche just announced their brand new hypercar, and I have a lot more context than a lot of people, so I'm gonna take him to the car with me. Don't worry, I'm not gonna touch you in any places that you don't want. I'm not a chick with dicks. But, wait, why did I say that? Why did you say that, Belen? But I'm gonna take everyone with me to the car. Let's go.
And without any more bullshit, ladies and gentlemen, let's talk about cars, yo. Hit it, Sergio. Ow! Ow! That was a joke, damn it. Was it? Or do I like it? I gotta get a boner. All right, that's irrelevant. That's not here nor there. The reason why I want to talk to you guys about the Mission X, which is Porsche's new hypercar project, and we'll get to that, goes from way back in the day, okay? Back in the day, I used to really hate the idea of buying a Porsche, because all the people that own Porsches, and I'm talking about obviously before I got my 918 and everything, and I'll take you through all of that if you want to hear the story, so that you understand where I stand with this and why I see it the way I see it. So back then, I used to think everyone that has a Porsche is such a douchebag. Like they were the most annoying, the most awful car owners in the history of the world. If you guys have gone ever to a BMW Z8 meetup, you'll understand what I'm saying. They were like, it's like the Porsche crowd, like the old Porsche crowd, went and bought a Z8, BMW Z8, and they all got to be friends, and they all became really fucking obnoxious and annoying together, okay? I hated them with a passion. And at some point, a friend of mine was telling me how great the new GT3 was, and I believe that was the 991 GT3. And I was like, you know what? I really love the design and all of this shit. I've heard that these cars are incredible to drive, but I've never driven one of the modern ones. So I really want to drive one. So I went, I drove it, and I fell in love with the car. I bought it instantly, paid cash. I was like, I'm taking this fucking GT3 with me. And it was a silver car with a black interior, okay? Like this turbo is silver with red because it's more of a classic German type of look. I love this type of combination. But that one was a silver car, black interior, and I loved it. It was unimaginable to me that a car could go that fast and you wouldn't even feel it. That a car that was a sports car that would go fast, that would make all that noise and can go fucking crazy, I could use every single day. That really was to me like the first, holy shit, Whatever Porsche is doing these days, they're building incredible cars. Around that time too, they had the 918 everywhere, right? Because everybody knew about the 918, everybody was so excited, they opened up the orders, and unfortunately for Porsche, it took a very long time for that 918 to hit the market. A really long time. I don't know if you guys remember that. To the point where people were dropping the orders. You were supposed to put I believe it was a $300,000 deposit, and like 3 or 4 years went by, and I don't know if you guys remember, but they came out with a Turbo S or a 911 Turbo, I can't remember if it was an S or not, 918 edition. And the reason why they did that was like, all right guys, we've made you wait so long that if you got one of these, you can have the right to buy one of these very limited turbos that we'll make. So they did that, indeed. And it worked out pretty well. Now, when the 918 was coming out, probably around 2014, late 2014, 2015, 2016, around those days, I had ordered and bought a Pagani Huayra. And I was waiting for it, and I had my Aventador, and I was like, I'm just gonna sell my Aventador and buy the Pagani Huayra, which at that point, it was a fucking deal, this deal of a century. I only paid $1.8 million for that Huayra. And I know it sounds really, oh, that's not a deal. It is a deal. If you look at car prices right now, that was a masterful move by yours truly. Because I just wanted the car, whatever. So I bought the Huayra, I was really happy with it. And one day, my wife and I were in Italy planning our wedding, and I got really drunk. And I messaged a friend, and I was like, dude, you need to get me a 918. I don't know why. I saw a picture that I had taken at Car Week that year, and I was like, I want a fucking 918. How fast can you get me one? He goes, dude, I can get you one really fast. So I was like, all right, count me in and let's talk. And whenever we get a chance to do this, sorry, there's a deer about to cross the road, so it's making me nervous. Holy shit, Texas. No, stay there. Sorry. So I order the car. He tells me, let's chat when you get back, etc. So I get back into LA and I talk to my friend and I'm like, dude, listen, I don't want to put a fucking deposit. And he goes, no. Here's the deal. No one wants these fucking cars. And I go, what do you mean? He goes, everyone is canceling their deposits on them. And I go, why? And he goes, because everyone's waited so long, they don't want them anymore. They don't think Porsche is going to be able to deliver this. And I was like, holy shit. How many of these cars do you have without an owner? And he goes, I have 2. And to be honest with you, I bought 2 Porsche 918s at the same time just to flip them. Because I figured, if I like the first one, I can keep the second one. But if not, I'm gonna be able to flip the 2 of them, no question about it. So my friend goes, no problem. And I go, I wanna know that you're gonna give me the cars. Dealership, everybody signed the paperwork, because I don't know how familiar you guys are with dealerships, or maybe it's only a US problem, or maybe it's only an LA problem. I don't think so. You guys tell me. You know what? Tell me right here down in the comments if this has happened to you before. So I made him promise me that the cars would come, that they were mine, etc. So whatever, they did. A month later or 2 months later, I get my 918. The first one that comes in. It was the lowest sticker price you could possibly buy in a car. It had nothing. No carbon fiber. It only had the lift. So the car, I believe, sticker was $845,000. Porsche 918, legendary hypercar from Porsche. Right, it's the successor to the Carrera GT, which I also had. One of the most incredible naturally aspirated V10 engines on the road. Le Mans engine that never made it to Le Mans, I believe. So they converted it for a road legal production car, and the result was unfucking real. And before that, Porsche came out with a 959 back in the day, when the F40, F50, I can't remember which one exactly, and that was such a technological breakthrough. It had so many things that no other car at that time had, and everybody thought Porsche was crazy. Now, those cars are older, so you cannot judge them for what they are now, but the 918, dude, was unfucking believable what he did. It was focused on making the driver better. A lot of people complain about the 918 because they were like, it feels too like a machine, it feels like the car is driving too much. But for most of the people that drive those cars, we're morons. We don't know what the fuck we're doing. We're not Pato O'Ward in a fucking Indy car. We're not Max Verstappen in Formula One. We're just retards driving these cars that we were able to afford, thank God, for whatever reason. When I got my 918, my impression was like, this is unfucking believable. And in the buying process, I encountered a few obstacles, because when I got it, the owner of the dealership did not believe that the car would go up in price. But when it landed, it was clear people were paying $200,000 over sticker for those cars, right? So in a $400,000 car, on an $800,000 car, you're getting $200,000. That's a pretty good deal just to get rid of something. So they instantly called me when my car was there, and they go, hey, after sending me pictures of my car, the black one, if you guys remember the black one that I had. And they called me and they go, listen, we know that you're trying to sell this car, so we're not gonna give it to you. And I go, by the way, at that point, I promise you guys, I didn't even try to sell the car, right? I had a friend of mine that owns a dealership that called me and said, I'll give you $200,000 over. And I said, no, thank you. I'm taking my car. That's how I knew it was going to be $200,000 over. So it's not like I called people or anything. I had one call with one person. So these guys go, they're saying that you flipped the car and you gave it to this guy and whatnot. And the story was totally made up. So I said, no, I didn't. And the guy goes, I'm not going to give you the car unless you sign a piece of paperwork that says you're going to give me 30% of the profits that you make on it. I was like, oh, I thought this was about me not flipping the car, but I guess it's about you getting a part of it. So I said, no problem, sir. Let's do it. All you need to do is send me an email. And of course, telling me and explaining me this so that I know and we can have a deal in place, and then I'll do it. And he goes, perfect. So the idiot, the fucking retard, the owner of the dealership, this is why you gotta wonder how these people make money, right? Like how the fuck you get to that point. You send an email about something illegal that you're trying to pull on a customer, dude. And you feel like, oh, that's fine. So the guy sends me the email. I couldn't believe it. I remember sitting just down in my living room and going like, this is unreal. This guy legitimately sent me the email with all of the information of what he wants to do. So I called him right after I get the email, or he called me. And I go, I gotta be honest with you, dude. I'm not gonna give you the fucking money, and I'm not gonna give you the car. And he goes, what? Why not? And I go, because I can send this email to Porsche and they'll fucking own your ass. So no, I'm not giving you the car or the money. So the guy goes, fine, whatever. We do a deal where I actually put force on him because I was like, you know what? Fuck you if you're gonna do this to me. And he goes, no. I'm gonna make your life easy. Tell me what you need from me. So I was like, you know what? I want you to finance 50% of the car. So that means I got to pay $400,000 down and the rest I got to finance. It's brilliant because when I sold the car, I doubled my money. I put $400,000, I made some payments, and when I sold it, I made $400,000. So doubled my money, right? That's when you know how to use debt, baby. So whatever, I got my car. And of course, when I got it, they took away my second 918. But the second 918 was the one that I really wanted. It was a gray one with a red interior, whatever. Then from there, I ended up buying, I'm telling you guys, I love the car so much, I ended up selling my Wyra and buying a $2 million 918 acid green that everybody told me I was crazy for. Everybody was like, are you fucking insane? Who's gonna wanna buy a fucking bright green car that looks like a gigantic tennis ball from you with a brown interior? Oh, is that color overused now? Incredible, insane. So either way, I thought the color was brilliant and whatnot. Got the car, loved it so much. You saw Belen's reaction to my question. She really loved the 918. And ever since that date, we've known that Porsche's been working on an all-electric car to be the next hypercar that takes over the 918. Even if you've heard about Ferrari's next hypercar, it's an all-electric car that they have in mind to release. And a lot of people thought it was bullshit and that we were absolutely full of it when I said that back in the day, like so many years ago. The first Let's Talk About Cars video that I made was talking about the Mission E. And what's the name of the Mission E? The Taycan now, right? The Taycan now. So that car really came out and did the splash that it was supposed to make, but none of the stuff that we talked about that Porsche released back then made it to the car. It wasn't as spectacular as everybody thought. Like, there's just limitations, right? When you build an electric car, when you use new technology and all that stuff. And all those limitations made Porsche have to deal with, and they couldn't make the car. So whatever. We knew and we were waiting forever for them to be able to do the Mission X, which is the new car that everybody's talking about, the new hypercar from Porsche. And Porsche put it out kind of like a concept car, but it's not a concept car. And I know a little bit more information that you guys might like to know about that car that's interesting. So number one, the car is incredibly lightweight. It's beautiful. But one of the features is, and they talk about, they want a 1-to-1 power ratio. That means for each kilogram, 1 horsepower, right? That's what Porsche is looking for. That means a super light car, but it's an all-electric car. The car is insanely gorgeous. The design from the outside, it's completely different from what we've seen. And it's got this jet-inspired cabin that when you open the doors, which by the way, it has nice butterfly doors, the doors that go up as it should. As it should, because if you're buying, and this is something in 918 I also gave, I gave so much shit for it, because the doors just open like a regular car. If you're spending $1 million on a car, I want doors to say, this guy's a fucking moron, okay? And the butterfly doors do say that, so I'm extremely happy that they did that. Now, you look at the cabin and everything here is glass. The reason why everything is glass is obviously visibility. It makes your visibility insane. Right? So when you're driving fast, you want to be able to turn around and know where you are and where everybody else is. Mission accomplished. Porsche killed it. The other thing that they're focusing so much is on you, the person driving the car. And that is something that the 918 did really well, but not in the way that you were sitting. It was more in the way that you drove it. But I feel like technology, and especially now with an electric car, you can build so many different types of cabin layouts that will make sense for you. So now everything is focused on the driver, whether it's the screen, right, which is concave, and it looks like this, like one of those flat screens that you spent a lot of money on that I don't know if they really work or not, but it looks like that. All of the dashboards looking at the driver, and then on the passenger side, they have a beautiful screen. And by the way, the buttons, everything reminds me of a watch. So you have like the little dial right here, so you can go through menus and up and down and whatnot. Beautiful. The seats on that car are gonna be, basically, they're gonna scan either your fat ass or your skinny ass, whatever it is, or your no ass body like mine. And once they scan that, they're gonna make the seats for you. So everything is gonna be so that it's perfect for you to come in and sit down. The negative on that though is, when you wanna resell the car, when you wanna give it to someone else, that person's not gonna get their fucking fine ass just assessed and put into the seat. So that's gonna be weird, and that might detract some. The SLR from Mercedes McLaren had a lot of problems like that because the seats were either too big or too small for people, depending on what people ordered. So that's something that I'm gonna be on the lookout for. Now, what Porsche wants to do with this car is they wanna beat the Nürburgring time, right? That's something that they have in mind, and right now that belongs to the AMG 1. So that's a Formula 1 fucking car. And you're telling me that Porsche with an electric car is gonna beat him. Everybody thought that this was a Rimac product, and it's not. That's what I'm here to tell you. I'm here to give you a couple of clues that probably no one told you. It's not gonna be a Rimac product completely, or even a lot of it. Very little Rimac involvement in this thing, which I'm surprised by it. I didn't know. I thought they were grabbing the Nevera and just putting a Porsche body on it, and they're not. The reason why this is gonna take about 4 years to hit the market, 4 years, people, I don't know if they give you that timeline, is because Porsche is focused so much on the lightweight of the car and the weight distribution on it that they need to figure out a bunch of shit before they're able to make it, okay? It's not gonna be an easy shot, something simple that you get in, you get out, that's done. No. There's no electric cars that are lightweight right now. So they know, and they're estimating that it's gonna take them about 4 years to hit the market with a really, or at least to have the final product, to come out with it. Now, the driver experience, normally in a Porsche, what they do so great is they put the engine right here in the middle of the car behind me. And what does that do? What that does really is it gives you the perfect balance. So whenever you're driving the car, you wanna turn, the car feels so ready to turn on any direction that I will feel like Charles Leclerc without crashing that Sunday. And that's a very good feel, because he's very good, except when he crashes. God, these Porsches are so good. So what they're gonna do, aside from the lightweight and the Porsche driving characteristics, because remember, Porsche is the first one that made the Taycan, and the Taycan or Taycan, however the fuck you say it, doesn't have the Tesla problem or the Rivian problem. It drives like a regular car. It does feel like a regular car that has an electric powered powertrain. And that's what they're gonna also do with this one, right? So they wanna focus on the driving experience, they wanna give you a really lightweight, and they wanna give you the perfect weight distribution. How are they gonna accomplish that? They're not gonna go with a skateboard layout for the battery, which means it's not gonna go underneath it. What they're doing, sorry, there's a cop car or a fire guy passing by. Oh, and an ambulance and a cop. Okay. So what they're doing with that car effectively is they don't want to put the battery underneath it. What they want to do is they want to stack him behind the driver's seat and the co-pilot seat, more towards the co-pilot seat in the center, so that all of the weight goes there, so that you get that feel of a center engine, mid-engine car when you're driving, which is fucking brilliant. They're going for speed, they're going for lightweight, they're going for all of these things, and guess what the price is going to be? Guess what the price is going to be? Write it down in the comments before I tell you. Around $1.5 million. I know that sounds like a lot of money, but today, that's a fucking incredible deal. The Lotus that they haven't been able to make, the Evija or Evira or my pussy, whatever it's called, I don't know what it's called, I'm sorry. I get flustered and then I say jokes. So don't get offended, Lotus. I love you. I do. I would kiss your puss. Either way. So what they're going to be able to do is a super lightweight car that drives like a Porsche hypercar, everything custom made for you to make you a better driver, faster driver, a fucking great experience when you're sitting in the car, and best of all, at a really affordable price when you're comparing hypercars. The LaFerrari of 2013, ladies and gentlemen, was $1.6 million base price. This is still cheaper than that. No other company's offering you a deal like that. Now, the problem is going to be, your boy is not going to be able to get one. You are not going to be able to get one. There's only going to be probably 1,000 people or around 1,000 people qualified to get one of these cars at that price. The rest of us are probably going to have to pay between $2 and $3 million, depending on where the market stands at that point. Other than that, I am really looking forward to this car. I love the design of the lights. I love the jet-inspired cabin. I love the doors. I love that ass. It's so beautiful. And the wheels that go with it right now, insane. The interior is beautiful. I love the one seat on the driver that has a different color than the other one, at least on the prototype. That's what it's looking like. And this is not going to be a prototype car, ladies and gentlemen. You were officially looking at the next Porsche hypercar in the making. My name is Alejandro Salomon, and are you excited about this car or not? I am. I want it. I want it and I need it. But am I going to be a fool and do that? I don't know. I don't care. We won't talk about that. There's no promises. But if I can get my hands on one, I would do dirty, disgusting things to people to get one of those. Really disgusting. Hey guys at Porsche, call me if you need help. Oh! No.